Hey guys, welcome back to Intellectual, where we explore historical stories. This is episode 2 of our series on ancient Rome. If you haven't watched the previous episode, go check it out now. It was about how Romulus founded Rome by killing his brother Remus and stealing some women from the Sabines. Yeah, not very nice of him. But what happened after Romulus? How did Rome become a great city-state under his successors? Romulus ruled for 40 years until he disappeared in a storm. Some said he became a god. Others said he was killed by senators. I guess we'll never know for sure. His successor was Numa Pompilius, a Sabine elder who was chosen by an assembly of Romans and Sabines. He was wise and peaceful. He reformed the calendar by adding January and February. He built temples for gods such as Janus, Vesta, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. He established priesthoods such as the Pontifex Maximus, the Vestal Virgins, and the Salii. He also created laws that regulated marriage, property rights, contracts, debts, and crimes. He avoided wars with neighboring tribes and made alliances with them. He promoted agriculture and trade within his realm. He died at an old age after ruling for 43 years. But what about the third king of Rome? Was he as peaceful as Numa Pompilius, or did he have a different agenda? The third king was Tullus Hostilius, who was related to one of Romulus's buddies. He was young and feisty. He attacked Alba Longa, which was where Romulus and Remus were born. Remember them? He challenged its king to a fight between 3 brothers on each side, Horatii for Rome and Curiatii for Alba Longa. The last standing Horatius killed all Curiatii, but also his sister who had a crush on one of them. Ouch. He got away with it because the people admired his patriotism. Tullus Hostilius destroyed Alba Longa and took over other cities. He made Rome bigger and stronger, but he forgot about the gods and didn't do their rituals. Bad move. He also started a war with the Etruscans, who were a big deal in Italy at that time. They had fancy stuff like art and writing and metalworking. He then got zapped by lightning and died by Jupiter's anger. But who took over after him, and how did he fix the mess that Tullus Hostilius left behind? The fourth king of Rome was Ancus Marcius, who was Numa's grandson. He brought back the religious stuff that Tullus Hostilius had ignored. He also kept expanding Rome by building a bridge over the river, a port at the sea, and a wall around the city. He beat up the Latins, who were another group of people in Italy, and gave them a place to live on a hill in Rome. He died after ruling for 24 years. But who was the next king of Rome? The fifth king of Rome was Lucius Tarquinius Priscus, or Tarquin the Elder for short. He was not a Roman but an Etruscan who moved to Rome with his wife Tanaquil. He was rich, charming, and sneaky. He became friends with Ancus Marcius and looked after his sons when he died. He then tricked the people into voting for him as king by saying that the gods wanted him to be king. But what did he do as king? And what did he build that we can still see today? Tarquin the Elder was a great builder and fighter. He made a lot of things like temples, water pipes, sewers, and roads. He also made the Circus Maximus bigger, which was a place where people watched chariot races and other games. He fought against the Sabines, the Etruscans, and the Volsci. He made Rome's army bigger and added more senators to the council. But in the end, he was killed by the sons of Ancus Marcius, who wanted their throne back. But who was his successor? And how did he get there with some help from his mother-in-law? The sixth king of Rome was Servius Tullius, who married Tarquin's daughter. He was born a slave, but became powerful with the help of Tanaquil, who saw a sign from the gods on his head. He took over after Tarquin died and ruled with justice and wisdom. But what did he change about Rome's society and politics? And how did he make Rome bigger and safer? Servius Tullius changed the way people were divided in Rome. He made 5 classes based on how rich they were and how much they could fight in the army. He also counted and registered all the citizens in a thing called the census. He gave citizenship to many foreigners and freed slaves who lived in Rome. He built a new wall around the city and took over more land from other people. He died after ruling for 44 years. But who was the last king of Rome? And how did he lose his throne to a new form of government? The last king of Rome was Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, or Tarquin the Proud for short. He was Tarquin the Elder's son and Servius Tullius's brother-in-law. He took over by killing Servius Tullius. He was a mean guy who treated the people badly and didn't listen to the Senate. Tarquin the Proud finished some of the things that his dad had started, like the big temple for Jupiter on a hill. He also fought against a lot of people, like the Volsci, the Gabii, and the Rutuli. He tried to keep his power by making friends with other Etruscan cities and by paying off an oracle in Greece. But he also made a lot of enemies by being nasty and cocky. The end of Tarquin's rule came when his son Sextus Tarquinius raped Lucretia, a lady who was married to a cousin of Lucius Junius Brutus, one of Rome's big shots. Lucretia killed herself after telling her family what had happened. Brutus then started a rebellion against Tarquin and his family, who ran away from Rome. It was then that the people of Rome decided that they didn't want kings anymore and established a republic instead, in 509 BC. That's it for our episode on the Roman kings. We hope you liked it and learned something new. If you did, please hit that like button. Share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more episodes on ancient history. And join us on our journey through the history of ancient Rome. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Intellectual.